everyone, and welcome to another episode of Disqualified. I am Driven, joined as always by Caleb.
Hola.
And Zach, as always, is behind the camera.
Hello.
And we are here to talk about NXT.
Oh boy, this show was action-packed. It set up a lot for Roadblock. We have 3 matches now confirmed for Roadblock.
Yep, and a couple for next week.
Yeah, some big matches got announced tonight. And some big matches happened tonight.
Yeah.
Tonight, we kick off with the Women's North American title match. Stephanie Vaquer versus Carmen Petrovic.
Yup.
Banger. Open the show with a banger. So, this match saw a lot of Stephanie being the dominator, but then Carmen would always get a few licks in and then get shut down.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
But,
yeah, all in all, real good match. It's funny, commentary pointed out how it's like every time Carmen took a bump, Ashante's face would be a mix of both disappointment and like that looked like it hurt.
oh yeah.
It's like Ashante's real funny in the manager role, honestly.
Oh yeah, he's killing in the manager role. And after the match, we get the first big stare down of the night.
Yep.
As your WWE NXT... Why did I say WWE? Because I don't really call it that. Your Women's NXT Championship. Or your champion.
Julia.
Julia, she comes out, stares down with Stephanie. She says, you call yourself the best champion. I think that's wrong. Stephanie says, no, correction. I am the champion of champions.
So let's figure it out. And they challenge each other to make a title v title match. And the internet has mixed opinions about the threat of unification this early into the NA's legacy.
Yeah, so 3 defenses in, and you already are saying, well, there's nothing for this title to do anymore, even though we have, the most stacked women's division. But let's unify it. But they're not going to unify it, and if they do unify it, it is going to be the most wonky bullshit ever.
Yeah, a lot of people online have commented like this match is going to end in a fatal influence or interruption or some type of interruption, so both people keep their titles. Because in title v title matches, if it ends in a no contest, they just keep their respective title as no one is declared a winner or a loser.
Yep, but that is not made official yet. It'll be made official later on.
Yep.
But moving on.
Yep. We get a little sort of funny segment of Miss NXT. Ariana Grace, I had to remind myself of her name. With Santino Marella, as Ariana Grace is the liaison for the NXT half of this NXT and TNA partnership. And they're talking business about a lot of people are already talking big game. We're already making big moves, but how do we make even bigger moves? And Santino's like, oh, I've also been talking with Ava. We got some things cooking. And their conversation is interrupted by Lola Vice, of all people.
Yeah, Lola Vice returns to NXT after, I think, about maybe 3 weeks absence.
A little 3-week absence, yeah.
And she says, what do you have going for me? I'll fight anyone. NXT, TNA, anyone. And Ariana Grace says, well, we're too busy for that. We're not the people to go talk to about matches.
Yep. And she gets a little upset about being ignored and asks for a little Miss MMA versus Miss NXT match later tonight.
Yep. And a little spoiler, the match kind of fucking cooked.
Yeah. But our next match on the official card is your Heritage Cup champion, Lexis Keene, versus the belts they're actually challenging for in this match, your X Division champion, Moose. And mate, did Moose kill it.
Yeah, Moose showed out. I knew what Moose was capable of in the ring. I've been following his work for a while. He is great when he actually gets the chance to shine and show what he's capable of, and in front of a new audience to him, most likely.
The air he caught on the spear for the 1, 2, 3.
Oh yeah, and also him doing that. What was it? Running corner crossbody.
Yup.
Yeah, no. Moose is insane. They noted on his in commentary that he is probably the most decorated football to wrestler pipeline person because he played 7 seasons for, I think they said the Patriots, the Jaguars, and someone else, I think. It might have been the Panthers. But yeah, it was a pretty good match. Afterwards, of course, we get Oba Femi.
Yep. Being like,
Who?
Yep. He comes out and is like, you know what? You put on a pretty decent show, actually. You know what? I'll accept your challenge for my title.
And then he says, title versus title. And I'm thinking, there's going to be 2 title v title matches? But I think it was a slip of the tongue.
Yeah. It was later confirmed when they showed the official match card at the end of the show that this match is just for the NXT title.
Mm-hmm. Which I was like, oh, okay. Makes more sense. Because at first I thought when Julia said it, it was a slip of the tongue because I was like, oh, they're doing Oba and Moose title v title. And then I was like, wait, that doesn't make sense either because why is Oba going after the mid card of that? I mean, also the logic is flawed because why is Julia going after the mid card of this brand?
But we'll go over the official so far confirmed match card at the end of the show.
And in other news, the mysterious 4 men have been spotted. Or not spotted yet, but they posted the picture outside the venue.
Yeah.
And then they posted a video inside the venue in the rafters. So, be on the lookout.
Yep, we will see them later. But next up after this segment, we get a little faction introduction promo of Sean Spears' quote-unquote family. Basically, everyone he recruited got a makeup and wardrobe change. Brooks Jensen.
He is no longer pre-Malone.
He got a haircut.
Yeah, he looks completely different now.
Yep. Nico Vance decided to go from a t-shirt to a tank top.
Yeah.
And ripped jeans showing off the multitude of tattoos he has.
I think he also might have gotten a slight mohawk.
Yeah.
But cool, I guess.
Yeah. And then
Izzy Dame
added black to her hair and is basically also in all black clothes also.
Yeah. I also, pardon me, because I also forgot there's another faction in NXT. I just completely forgot about the other week, NQCC.
Yeah.
I just completely forgot that they were a faction.
Yeah.
They have the same amount of members as, I don't know what Sean Spears' family is called. And
they don't have an
D'Angelo
official name yet. Yeah, and the D'Angelo family.
Yep. So there's now 4 factions. No, actually, fuck. There's 5. Because the metaphor. It's just Oro Mensa and Noam Dar are
there's actually
not on TV.
There's actually a lot more factions than you're thinking, because I'm also thinking of the faction Jada Parker's technically in.
Oh, no, I don't consider them more of a faction. I consider them more of a group. Group and factions are different things, even though they have very similar meanings. A faction, I think, is when you have 4 or more people.
Okay, then the other people I was starting to count on my fingers, Fatal Influences.
Well, Fatal Influence, actually, I think you could count them as a women's faction, mainly because it's going after the divisions that they go after. Singles, tags. With men's, you have a tag division, a singles, and a world title representative. So I think it's easier for them to separate women's factions from women's groups. I don't know. That's my own thing on it. But yeah, no. They have 6 factions. Oh, yeah, no, because I'm considering Wes's thing a group.
Yeah. Yeah, but...
Unless Sue comes back.
Yeah. I mentioned Jada earlier, but speaking of which, we get a little so earlierly posted on X today video of Ariana Grace having a little impromptu tour bus interview with Kalani Jordan, and she mentions Jada Parker, and Jada Parker in a further back seat overhears the name drop.
It says, "Why are you talking about me?" And basically, it doesn't break out into a brawl, but it breaks out into an argument.
Bus fight, bus fight, bus fight.
And clip cuts.
Yep.
And then I think we go to Sarah Schreiber for the aftermath later on in the episode.
Yeah.
I don't think it's right away.
Yeah. Because right now, we got newly signed to NXT superstar, straight from TNA, Jordan Grace.
Yes, she comes out and she cuts what someone on Twitter called a very preachy promo. And then Jordan Grace responded with, "Wrestling is religion." But saying how she's here because she heard it was the best division. When she wrestled here a year ago, it felt like the best division. It felt like the best place to be. So she's here now.
Yep.
And then comes Roxanne Perez.
Yep. Roxanne basically cuts a little backhanded compliment promo of, you know what? You're right. You did a lot for your division back in TNA. You were pretty dominant. But mate, I'm dominant in general. She basically cuts like, I dominated this division and now I'm going on to bigger things with the Elimination Chamber. And then after I win it, Mania.
Roxanne also says my title at some point, and then Jordan is like,
Where's your title?
Yeah, who has your title? And Jordan ends the promo by saying there's a important saying. Everyone has a plan
until
meat check.
Yup.
She punches Roxanne, goes to clothesline her. Roxanne gets tied up in the ropes, and that is pretty much the end of the segment. And
I don't hate this being Roxanne's quote-unquote send-off feud.
It really depends on what happens at the Chamber. I think her send-off, this, like you said, this might be her send-off feud, but I think her send-off was Vengeance Day.
Yeah.
I think she's going straight to main roster after Chamber, depending on what happens.
Yeah. But, this being a quote-unquote send-off feud ain't bad because it builds people who are a little less aware of Jordan Grace, builds her up, and also keeps Roxanne looking strong as people who do know Jordan Grace know she's a powerhouse.
Oh, yeah.
It's like...
she's going to toss Roxanne around, and it's going to be wonderful to see.
Yep. It's like, keep Roxanne looking like a credible threat, entering whatever division she goes in, whether they send her straight to world title picture or puts her on the IC/US scene. She'll be a credible threat wherever she goes, because if she holds her own against Jordan and also holds her own in the Chamber, holy.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yes, oh, yes. So, great things ahead for Roxanne, and a wonderful first feud for Jordan Grace.
Yep. Speaking of former champs and feuds, though, we get a little backstage segment with Trick Williams doom scrolling comments about his 2025 record.
Heel Trick is coming.
Yeah.
Heel Trick is coming. I think it's going to be good.
Yeah. You know someone's turning heel when they start beefing with Javon Evans.
Yeah. Who can hate that guy?
Yeah.
He's so wonderful. Like, legit. You hate Javon, you make an enemy of me.
Yeah. You also make an enemy of the NXT crowd.
Yeah. And then Ricky Saints comes in and says, look, I understand being angry, but all the time? And it cuts away. Yep. So continuing on with them just being like, wow, what the fuck is this place?
Yeah. Yeah, but to sort of fuse with this segment, we'll cut to a promo Eddie Thorpe had later in the night, which basically says, like, he did things the clean way. He did things the nice way. He started doing things the dirty way a little bit, and no matter what way he tries, opportunity keeps getting taken away from him. So he's like, I guess I got one thing to mark off my checklist to make sure people finally start listening to me. And that is to put Trick in the dirt.
I don't know what this is going to culminate in. I think it's going to culminate in some sort of stipulation match. Put in the dirt would be interesting if where my mind is going is a Buried Alive match. It would be the first time we've seen that in a while. It could also be casket match, which would be a little more disappointing because we've just seen one.
Trick when after the strap match feud happened in his like Jumbotron promo, he hinted at underground stipulation.
That'd be interesting. I wouldn't mind seeing another underground match. It's a very different type of match.
Yeah.
It's a fight.
Yeah.
I'd like to see a fight pit too. I'd like the fight pit.
Yeah, it's also one of my favorite stipulations, but it got tied a lot to Matt Riddle, which...
Yeah. Unfortunate.
Yeah, which probably why we haven't seen it in a while. But yeah, this is definitely going to lead up to a very much no holds bar-esque stipulation match. A lot of Trick's feuds, like Trick is a thing of ending feuds in big stipulations. He ended his feud with Carmelo Hayes in a steel cage. He ended his feud with Pete Dunne in the Last Man Standing. He just had a strap match with Eddie Thorpe, and now they're hinting at an even more extreme match against him to finish off this feud.
All right, so with this seemingly being his last feud on NXT, do you have him win and go on or lose and go on?
I have him... that's the thing, is that instead of the win-loss question, I have the question of if he gets bumped up to the main roster, face or heel. Because as you mentioned, it looks like they're prompting a heel turn for him this close to him getting called up. Does this feud end up with him going up to main roster as heel, or finish off this feud and just calm down, go back to face attitude?
Here's the thing, and I kind of hate it a lot. Now they've really started caring about it, but they really don't care about continuity from NXT to main roster in terms of reactions. Roxanne came up and she was in her match with Raquel. Maybe it was just because it was against Raquel, but she was getting cheers. With Trick, I could see them turning him heel to end out. But the thing is, it's just... he's aggressive. And the thing is, if you want to turn him heel in this feud, you have to turn Eddie Thorpe face. And how do you turn Eddie Thorpe face? So it really depends on that. I just think, like I said, heel turn coming. That's if he stays on for one more feud. I think he'd face like Javon or someone. And then he would be the heel in that situation. But I just see this being an attitude shift. He's going to be more aggressive. And anyways, people want to chant "whoop that trick."
Yeah.
People want to chant "whoop that
Yeah.
trick."
So him turning into more of a brawler personality
Yeah.
could make sense, yeah. I do have him... Either way, I do have him winning this feud. It was just the what's his attitude gonna look like on the main roster bump.
Because the way that they could do it for like Buried Alive is he's off TV for a few months and then he comes back after.
Does the...
When is SummerSlam? August?
I think so.
Yeah, so not till August, but maybe like around when Money in the Bank happens, they bring him back out, and then he is back to his old character.
Yeah.
I mean, it's what they did for The Undertaker when he went from American Badass to Undead, so...
Yeah. But then we do get that Jada Parker promo that you brought up earlier about what was that altercation about.
Yep, and Jada Parker just says, like, Kalani's attitude isn't my problem. I don't know why she thinks it is. And then just pretty much, this is leading to a match between the two. They're actually going to get a singles match.
Jada actually invites for Kalani to take the initiative and ask for the 1v1.
Yeah, she mentions that she wouldn't have fumbled like Carmen did in that match. In that match being the Women's North American title match earlier on in the night. But, yeah, that's pretty much the promo.
Yeah, just prompting Kalani to make the 1v1 because Jada's waiting. She's waiting for you to take the initiative you say you're willing to take.
Yep. And now I think is our Lola Vice Ariana Grace match?
No. First up is actually right in the middle of the card. The moment a lot of people watching this episode have been waiting for. Your tag match with a returning to WWE for the first time in years.
This happened before the Ariana Grace match?
Yup.
Why shoot your load this early?
I don't know.
This is my main event. Okay, first of all, I don't think you understand this. The Hardy Boys have been wrestling in WWE, I think since, don't give me, correct me if I'm wrong, I think 97. Jeff lied on his application and was wrestling in WWE at 17. And then going to high school the next day. Yeah, so they are huge mainstays. WWE released a new t-shirt. There's plans about them getting a main roster spot sometime in the spring for a little feud there.
Yep.
But oh my God, the Hardy Boys have come home.
And the pop was insane.
Not as big as their Mania 36 pop.
No.
But,
because that was a Mania stadium.
But, oh my God, it was amazing watching these two work. Facing off against NQCC, because they challenged them last week. And
this match cooked.
There was a spot where Jeff used Tavion to do poetry in motion because Matt wasn't available. We get a classic Whisper in the Wind. We get a perfect twist of fate into a Swanton Bomb for the 1, 2, and 3. Also, Miles Bourne was receiving "You're Not Randy" chants during the match. because they say he looks like Randy Orton now.
Yeah.
But after the match, Fraxium appears.
Yeah.
Out of fucking nowhere.
Well, they were there watching on the ramp, kind of like what they did on TNA, because the Hardy Boys encouraged them to watch this match to see who people are calling the best tag team in the world, and Fraxium gets up from their seats after the match is over and are like, "Dadgum, you were right. You two can cook. You two are probably the best tag team in the world." But the Hardy Boys start return glazing, being like, nah, we've seen what you guys have done in
That's
NXT.
Matt. Jeff says, nah, fuck that bullshit. We fighting. Challenge us. We're waiting.
Yep. And then we hear Italian
The
music.
GOAT! Santino Marella appears on our WWE television. Tron, music, everything.
Yep, and he's like, "You want to fight?"
He said, the Hard Boys versus Fraxium.
At Roadblock for the TNA Tag World Championship.
Oh my god. And like I predicted, I think the titles are getting swapped here. I'm telling you, I think the titles are getting swapped here. Maybe I'm just a crackhead.
Yeah. This is not a title for title. Santino announced this is just for the TNA chips.
Yeah, this is gonna cook. Also, WWE has now filed the trademark for Fraxium. First of all, I don't know why no one decided to steal this trademark that was so very obviously out there. You could have got big bucks. I'm mad I didn't do this. I could have got big bucks. But
you know how expensive trademarking something is?
Look, man, I can figure it out.
It's only like $90.
Oh.
But yeah, so this is a dream match, a modern day dream match in the tag circuit.
Yeah. And dadgum, this match is gonna cook.
Dude, this was, I think, the best part of the night. Mainly because you get because after this something big happens too, but you get the return of the Hardy Boys. You have that excellent fucking match. Then you have Fraxium come out. They finally get challenged. And then you get another huge pop for fucking Santino coming out of nowhere. Oh. It also looked like he got a little emotional during it. Like he was like, oh, people actually remember.
Yeah. Yeah. Whoever decided to whisper it in Khan's ear to be like, "Hey, we should collab with TNA."
Yeah, no, someone did that, and thank the fucking Lord, because, bruh, this NXT fucking partnership is amazing.
Yep. Whoever whispered that into the board's ears, deserves a raise.
Yeah. It's cooking, and now we move on to... This was shown later on in the show, but it involves people that were around in this match. NQCC is found laid out.
Yep.
In the back. Actually, this segues perfectly. This clip is shown at the end of this match, and it is Lola Vice
versus Ariana Grace.
We're gonna tease you.
Yeah.
So first, Lola Vice and Ariana Grace have a banger of a match.
Yep. People thought when they announced this impromptu match, they're like, "Oh, cool! It's the bathroom break match." No, it wasn't.
Yeah. This pretty much was started by Lola Vice saying that no one in Ariana Grace's family taught her how to fight. Fun fact: Santino Marella is a highly decorated fighter. Like he's actually very good at what he does. I think he's more like a BJJ.
Yeah.
He's actually good at what he does. He has a, I think it's like a MMA and wrestling training school, academy thing, or he at least coaches at one. He's doing something in the wrestling world again, so I'm just happy about that. But it started with Lola trying to get some strikes on Grace, and Grace just ducking and dodging, avoiding the strikes. Eventually, Lola Vites gets the upper hand. And Ariana Grace just not backing down, having a very aggressive match, wrestling a very aggressive style, hitting Lola with a headbutt.
Yep.
But Lola Vice is just too much
Yep.
for Ariana Grace.
All she gotta do is slip that backhand for the
And
1, 2, 3.
And while Lola is celebrating, now we get to the clip. And it shows NQC. C. It's such a weird acronym.
No quarter catch crew.
Yeah, laid out, you see Miles Bourne first. Then you see Tavion Heights. Then you see a dead Charlie Dempsey.
Yep.
And then the cameraman walks out the door to see the 4 mysterious men slapping trucks on their way out, making a bunch of noise.
Yep.
So they did a drive-by attack, pretty much.
Yep. And a bunch of people are on the internet were like, "Where's Ren?"
Oh, she probably just ran.
Yep.
The thing I'm saying is, you should have had these 4 men come out right after Santino made that announcement. Add to that segment even more.
Yep.
Mainly because you have... What better way to send a message than taking out the 2 tag champs of both companies? But that is all we see of the Mystery Men for tonight.
Yep. But a little promo montage that of promos we skipped over a little bit before we head into your main event. First one, the family is reunited. Tony is back and he is accepting Sean Spears' challenge to get this business over with.
That is next week on NXT, not TNA.
Yep. Not at Roadblock. Next week, Roadblock is a Tuesday NXT PLE 2 weeks away.
Mm-hmm.
Another match that's happening next week that got set in a infirmary/trainer's room promo is Zarya sprained her wrist a little bit during training, but a surprise little return to NXT. Your Women's US champion and her Secret Service.
Mm-hmm.
Or no, Secret Hervis.
Secret Hervis.
Yes.
But Secret Service is also pretty good. But Piper Niven accepts the challenge because Chelsea says, accept whatever they're saying.
Yep.
Sign the executive order. I got something to do. And then they're like, okay, see you next week. And then Chelsea comes back in the frame. What did you just sign on for?
We have a tag match next week.
Well, that was stupid. Like, bro, it's great. I love
so
their
Chelsea
hair.
Green and Piper Niven versus the still unnamed team of Sol Ruka and Zarya.
I think some people have calling them like Zaruka. It's a funky name, but
Yeah.
it's better than just being no named.
Yeah, and then Ava is on the balcony announcing all the officialized Roadblock matches, including the winner-take-all match with Julia and Stephanie Verker, the TNA Tag Championship match against the NXT champions, Fraxium trying to win the belts off of the Hardy Boys, and there's one more. Oh, it's the NXT World Championship match men's, where Oba will defend his title against the Challenger X Division champ Moose.
Yeah, pretty stacked card.
Yep.
With 3 matches confirmed for the Roadblock show.
Yep. And since it's a weekly PLE, there still might be some impromptus added to the card the night of, just like any other weekly, but this is what they do to boost bigger rivalries.
Still not a big fan of the 2 titles being fought for in one match. Not a big fan of title for title matches, but we'll move on because that is in the future. Now we're looking at
Our main event.
biggest free agent signing in recent WWE history, as they've said. It is the tag match of Wesley and Ethan Page versus Javon Evans and making his WWE debut,
With Tron and everything.
Ricky Saints.
His entrance is so good.
It is just a remix of his AEW theme. But yeah, he is finally here. He shows out.
Yes.
Shows out in his debut.
He did amazing stuff, honestly. And how this match goes is all four men are honestly doing pretty good offensive work. Javon, of course, still playing it safe with the injured jaw a little bit, but Ethan knows how to target it, so there's a lot of back and forth. But in order for this match to shine even further, Javon decides, like, nah, you want to fight, let's fight. Pushes Ethan out of the ring, pushes him over the security barricade, and they start brawling out of the arena.
They're going, and they are gone.
Leaving the two legal men to settle this tag match in a 1v1 of Ricky Saints and Wes Lee. Wes Lee does his little moves, and Rick goes for the cardiac kick, but Saints catches him.
Yeah, Saints catches him and hits the... Oh, they said the name last night on the broadcast, and I am forgetting it now. Oh, no.
I'm also forgetting what they called it.
But he hits his finishing move, which is... It's hard to describe, too. You got the clip because he has the Santee thing, so he can describe it. But Ricky Saints picking up the win in this match. I think this leads to a singles feud with Wes, maybe.
Catches him, and here it comes. Oh, he.
Okay, so it's just a running power slam with the person facing upward.
And he does little prayer hands.
Yep. I am forgetting what the actual name is.
Yeah, it might. I feel like it might have had Revolution in the name.
No.
No.
Oh, maybe.
Yeah.
But that is your episode of NXT. It pretty much just ends on him doing his little pose and then smirking into the camera.
Yep. And honestly, good main event and good episode altogether. It leaves us hyped for Roadblock, which only leaves us more hyped for Stand and Deliver, because if you're getting all these crossover feuds out of the way now, what the heck are you going to build up for the NXT equivalent of Mania?
But
what are you cooking?
Speaking of Stand and Deliver, going into Stand and Deliver, we will be doing predictions of it. But speaking of predictions, time to move this bad boy into the center. Next time you see us will be Saturday for our review
of Elimination Chamber.
And I am feeling pretty confident about my choices.
Yep. I'm confident about 3 of mine. The 4th one was a curveball.
So hopefully, depending on when this goes up, this is going up on my birthday on Thursday. But depending on when predictions goes up, it'll either be Thursday or Friday. But check the video out when it comes out, and you'll see why I feel so confident about me winning.
If I end up still winning, you will choke me out and ask who gave me the script.
Oh yes, I will. But that is it from us here at Disqualified. This has been Caleb, Trevin. This is Zach behind that camera as always. Be sure to like, comment, subscribe, ring that bell 3 times so you know the match is over. Thank you for your time and peace.
Bye.